We're going to focus on completing the framework on the CJ project. The next stage of the project is going to be mounting this reinforcement plate that holds the trailer hitch. I have the trailer hitch in position now, just loosely bolted in position, so I can get a height of where this mounting plate goes. But before I mount that, I'm going to put a reinforcement plate on this side of the frame, just to make sure that this connection right here is really strong. The bottom of the frame is really solid, but the top in this area is getting a little thin. But I'm not worried that it's not strong enough to hold itself together. I just want to make sure that this part is going to be really strong. I'll show you what I mean about the mounting plate on this side. We'll actually work on that first. This is what I was talking about here. This part here, which is still, it's still holding together, but to hold all of this metal and the amount of weight that can be put on this, I definitely want to make sure this is strong. So what I'm going to do is make this hole bigger here, make another hole here, probably like a 1/2 inch diameter, and then I'm going to slide a piece of flat stock in here. Probably this piece that I found that was part of the plow setup. I'm going to remove this and actually take this piece and slide it in here and just plug weld it on the side here. And then when I mount this piece of steel, all right, so I got this piece cut up and cleaned up, and I'm gonna actually slide this. I actually still have to clean this edge, but I'm gonna slide this in here and weld it right here, get these locked in. And then this is gonna give me more of a surface area to weld that big plate onto. So I have this in good position now to weld. I have a small jack just to keep the pressure off of the trailer hitch, just so that isn't dragging down and making that at a weird angle. So I get this all prepped up. Now I'm gonna just weld right here, right across here, where it meets the middle section here, and do the same on the other side. All right, so that worked out well. I have everything welded up here. In the middle I have to finish, but I can only finish once I take the trailer hitch off, and I got the other side welded. The trick with welding on an old vehicle like this is welding the two different metals. Not different compositions, but the thick metals to the really thin or rusted metals. That's definitely a tricky combination. I find you have to weld first into the thicker metal, get a pool of molten steel going, and blend it very slowly into the rusted metal. So I'm finding that's definitely a tricky combination. I used to weld oil tanks years ago, and I found that same issue with, we used to weld these steel nipples onto old oil tanks, and it used to be that same tricky situation. But I'm finding that if you use a lower amperage on the arc welder and you spend more time on the thicker metal and then blend it slowly into the thin rusted metal, it's still ugly. Like, I feel like they're not perfect welds, but they're still strong. You can see that they blend together. Now I'm gonna continue on the mounting of the shock holder, one similar to that over there. So what I'm gonna use to make this holder is some steel that was donated to us from some people that we had just met. Actually, the people that we bought the Chris Craft from. They donated some steel pieces and some big pieces of steel to us, And I'm gonna use that, and we thank you very much for that again. It's definitely coming in handy. But what I'm gonna do is cut a notch into the bottom of this piece of steel here, so it actually fits over this, so it overlaps kind of like right there, to make it real strong, to be able to hold on to the frame really good. So I'm going to use a piece of that and then drill a pin through it like that side there. But what I'm going to do is actually use, I had this bolt hanging around, and I'm going to actually fabricate this to be the pin that goes through the holder. So I'm going to work on that now. It's actually going to go this way, and I'm going to give that a shot, see how that holds on to there. Now I'm going to repeat that on the other side. Well, that worked out good. What I'm going to do now is drill the hole through here. That's going to allow me to put a pin through it, like on that side. I don't think I'm going to use this bolt. I'm not sure. I'm going to see. I have a lathe, and I'm going to try to remove these threads and just see how it works. I might just see if I can get the right pin for that too. But I'll see how it goes. I'll see what the availability is to get something like that. But at this time, I'll just use it as a guide, just basically for measurements. So what I'm going to do now is just drill these holes, weld that up, and then I'll move on to cutting off some of the non-essential metal, and we should be able to get this ready to move out of the garage and get ready to paint the frame. So I got this all welded up. Worked out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with that. These welds came out pretty good here. The side welds didn't come out as great, but they're definitely strong. They're definitely holding well. So the next part I'm going to do is remove all the non-essential things, which is just going to be a lot of cutting and removing of some of the extra metal. This was all part of the, sorry about the light there. This was all part of the plow setup. This here, I'm not going to fully remove this plate because I figure it's going to do more damage to try to remove it than to just keep it. So I'm going to just kind of cut it down and just make it look like it's part of the frame. I have another bracket over there I'm going to remove, but I'm not going to film that. That's a lot of little just cutting. I'm going to remove the bumper. We'll straighten out that bumper and get that painted up and get it ready to go. But all in all, this should be ready to get out of here. We're going to pull this out, and we're going to actually pull the dune buggy frame in here and do some of the welding that's needed on that. So that's going to be the next video, is starting to evaluate what needs to be done on the frame on the dune buggy. So what I'm going to do now is throw the old tires from the FC onto this, and we'll roll this out. So you're probably asking, if those are the tires from the FC, what does the FC have for tires now? I'm kind of psyched about the tires we got for it. Let me show you. Looking through Facebook Marketplace, which I have to learn how to get that off of my phone because it's getting me into a lot of trouble. We found some old Willys tires that a guy was, they're like almost like brand new, but they're old, you know, old styling. Look at that heron just taking off over there. That's pretty cool. So we ended up finding these. They're like brand new. They have so much tread left on them, and we got them at a real good price, and we got actually 5 of them. So we got those mounted. I'm not sure if I'm crazy about the color. Tell me what you guys think. Do you like the color, or would you like I was thinking of like either red for something different, or black, you know, just to not stand out as much. But we're kind of divided which way we like to go with it. Some of us like, in the family, like the white, and some of us like the black. So tell us what you think. If you could just throw me a quick message in the comments. I like it. They look pretty cool. I like how they're narrow, but they're meaty looking, because this truck is so underpowered that really wide tires would just make it crawl. You wouldn't be able to move at all. But that's going to be it for today. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. It's going to be dune buggy time next week. We're going to pull that into the garage. And you guys have a great week. I'll see you next week.